Coming up today on Ignite News, Black History Month kicks off in Hamilton with a Martin Luther King celebration.
Even though he has been gone for a while, definitely the message that we cannot remain silent.
Mohawk hosts a dinner for international students.
It's good for them to get to know one another and feel welcome and wanted at the college.
The Royal Canadian Mint has officially killed off the penny.
It still will be legal tender, but it's inefficient to lug around something that costs more than its face value.
All this and more coming up now.
Good morning and welcome to Ignite News for Wednesday, February 6th. I'm Rachel Williams.
And I'm Neil Reyes. Here's what's making news. Hamilton police are asking for the public's assistance in the search for a missing Hamilton man. 64-year-old Robert Kenoy left his residence late last Friday and has not been seen since. Kenoy is described as white, 5'11", with short gray hair. He was last seen wearing a blue jacket, blue jeans, and black and white shoes. Anyone with information is asked to contact Hamilton police.
Hamilton Mayor Bob Bertina wants to put an end to the drama surrounding Hamilton's bid for a casino. He says the only way to make a decision is to conduct a cost-benefit analysis of the $200 million proposal. He says the main issue of contention is whether the economic benefits outweigh the fear of increased gambling.
On February 4th, the Royal Canadian Mint stopped production of the penny. Rachel Williams explored the economic implications of this decision.
It costs 1.6 cents to even produce a penny. The decision by the federal government to cut production of the 1-cent coin is expected to save taxpayers approximately $11 million per year. However, William Scarth, professor of economics at McMaster University, warns that before the savings can begin, the country needs to recover what's already been lost.
The upfront costs are in the tens of millions of dollars just to collect them up and do away with them. It'll take a good 6 years for us to kind of break even on this.
Retailers are adjusting to this transition by rounding to the nearest fifth of a cent. This will only apply to cash purchases. Debit and credit transactions will still be calculated to the penny. Senior accounting clerk coordinator at Mohawk College, Joanne Roberts, says cashiers around the campus have been properly trained for this transition.
Yes, we do, and we've had sessions for all the cashiers. There's a rounding up and rounding down, and it's based on the government website.
If you are one of many Canadians who've been stockpiling your pennies, don't worry. They can still be used at local banks, redeemed at your local retailer, or donated to charities.
It still will be legal tender, but it's inefficient to lug around something that costs more than its face value to produce. So it's a good thing that we're finally acknowledging that and getting rid of it.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Rachel Williams.
A fire has claimed the makings of a new mansion in Burlington. The Burlington Fire Department responded to a call on Lakeshore Road just before 7 p.m. last night. Nearly 50 firefighters battled the blaze for about 2 hours. No one was in the house at the time and no one was injured. A damage estimate has yet to be released.
Mohawk College welcomed all international students with food and drinks in the Arnie on Monday night. Ignite News reporter Megan Facciolo has more.
Mohawk's Arnie was filled with diversity on Monday night. It was the International Students Welcome Dinner. Mohawk's events officer says the event is a perfect way to bring everyone together.
It's a great way for the students to experience some of the Canadian culture, try some of the food, and it's also a great way for them to meet each other because even though they are from different parts of the world, they may be in different programs, so it's good for them to get to know one another and feel welcome and wanted at the college.
The dinner was not just for new students, but all international students. Some students just enjoyed reconnecting with the friends they have made in previous years' events.
I can meet more people, I can see my friends, some of them are in final campus, so I won't be able to see them most of the time, but when I am here, I can see them, I can enjoy with them.
Mohawk hosts 1,200 students from 70 different countries, including Saudi Arabia, Mumbai, China, and Mexico, just to name a few. So why is Mohawk a popular choice for international students?
Mohawk College, it's one of the best colleges in Canada wherein we can gain good knowledge Like the faculty is good and the education is good.
Mohawk's president, Rob McIsaac, was more than impressed with the turnout and encouraged all the students to continue being engaged outside of the classroom.
It was a lot of fun, actually, just going around, shaking everybody's hand, and trying to get an idea of the quality of the experience our international students are getting. And it was a lot of positive feedback, so very heartening for me.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Megan Facciolo.
A Toronto woman has been granted preferred work hours because of a human rights violation. New mother Fiona Johnstone requested a shift change to accommodate her newborn child from her employers at Pearson International Airport. When refused, Johnstone took her case to the Rights Tribunal. The tribunal ruled that employers are obligated to accommodate family status because having children is not a lifestyle choice. Johnstone won $20,000, and Pearson Airport now has new policies to accommodate requests from new parents.
This year, Mohawk College introduced its new One Card. Ignite News reporter Nicole Scholler joins us in the newsroom. Nicole, what's been the response to the new card?
Go. Thanks, Neil. There's been a lot of different responses to the new One Card, some positive and some negative.
The One Card at Mohawk is a new way for students to make paying for things at the college easier. Hannah Hayward, who works in the One Card office, says,
I have to go do my story.
The college came up with One Card was more of a convenient way for students so they can have the ability to not just use it for photocopying or printing, but they can also use it around campus.
I hope so.
Some students say it does make things more simple for what they need at the college.
Our group prints off a lot of stuff, so we just scan the card and print off all our presentations, which makes it easy.
Because it's more convenient and you could just put money on the card and use it for whatever you need.
There are some aspects of this new payment method that students are finding expensive.
I think the fact that they made it $25 to replace it is a money grab. I had to pay that twice already, so I'm not happy about it.
The One Card system is not only affecting students, but also places of business throughout Mohawk.
The system needs to be improved. It's quick for the kids, but it's still a little too many buttons for us to push.
Hannah says the college is taking all feedback they receive into consideration.
We're always looking for new and exciting projects, especially because it's a new kind of thing. So, of course, everything that students tell us and staff tell us, we're always putting it in consideration to make it better.
The One Card does seem to be a work in progress, but Mohawk College promises that there are changes on the way for students. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Nicole Scholler.
Hamiltonians gathered at Stewart Memorial Church in the downtown core to honor Martin Luther King and his legacy. Ignite News reporters Megan Facciolo has the story.
People of all different races celebrated Martin Luther King through music, poetry, and stories in Hamilton's Stewart Memorial Church on Sunday. Spoken word poet Michael St. George explains the significance of communicating an important message artistically.
Well, I think art is probably one of the greatest gifts we have got as human beings, which include music. It's a tool to communicate. And I think if we're not able to communicate with each other effectively, then there's nothing we can do.
A variety of different cultures congregated to celebrate through different musical acts, including African drumming, Aboriginal storytellers, and an oud from Sudan. Hamiltonian Mary McNutt enjoyed seeing everyone come together for one common purpose.
We want to enjoy our lives on this earth, and we want to enjoy other people. And when we enjoy other people, we realize we all basically almost want the same thing. It's just colored differently. Our creed may be written differently. Our songs may have a different rhythm. But when we all come together, we realize how rich we are to have each other around. So to bring more together, you're not overly focusing on one event so much as realizing how much in common we have with our fellow man and how our lives could all be richer for it.
Event organizer Evelyn Myrie tells us why it's important to continue Martin Luther King's legacy.
Even though he has been gone for a while, definitely the message that we cannot remain silent, that we must move forward by raising our voice, taking actions to make the world a better place is something that's still relevant today. So it's important to remember those messages.
The event is a kickoff to Black History Month. The Black History Committee will be hosting a similar celebration at Mohawk's McIntyre Theater on February 7th. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Megan Facciolo.
A Hamilton boy had to get nearly 24 stitches after a dog attack last week. 10-year-old Zachary Eggleton was attacked by a pair of German Shepherds in an area near his Kennard Street school. The two dogs allegedly became startled once Eggleton approached the dog's walker to say hello. Eggleton managed to break free from the attacking dogs and ended up in the hospital, where he received 19 stitches on his forearm and 2 on his lips. Animal services have quarantined the two shepherds as they check to see if the animals have rabies. The boy's mother says the animals should be both put down.
We asked Mohawk staff and students what they thought. Should animals who bite humans be put down?
I believe they should be put down because I was attacked many years ago, taking my daughter to school, and I didn't even see the dog jumping from the top of a railroad track. And, you know, if it hadn't have been for an innocent bystander that came to help me out, it could have been worse. And we went to court, and the gentleman got a $10 fine. So, yes, I do believe something needs to be done about it.
They should be put in the pound.
You know, if you want to own a menacing dog, that's fine. If you want to own a guard dog, that's fine. You know, but you have to be responsible.
I think the owners should be training their dogs. I think it should be mandatory that all dogs are trained.
Well, it's definitely the owner. I mean, if a pet's just doing what it's told. So I guess if it's repeatedly biting someone, then yeah, absolutely.
Take a look at what's coming up in weather, entertainment, and sports.
Hang on to your best winter jacket because a lot of snow is coming on your way.
And coming up in entertainment, How I Met Your Mother gives a shout out to Hamilton and Ivor Wynne this week.
The Leafs and Senators both won last night, and the Toronto Raptors hope to add a key player back to their lineup. More on that coming up in sports.
And here's a look at today's top stories. Hamilton Mayor Bob Bertina insists on a cost-benefit analysis for the casino bid. A Burlington mansion burns to the ground after a fire. A Toronto woman has been granted preferred work hours after a human rights violation.
The cold weather continues this week. Let's check in with Tazeen for your weather update.
Thanks, Neil. Here in Hamilton, we're continuing to see colder temperature at -6 degrees Celsius with partial cloudiness. Toronto will also see some clouds with the temperature holding at -8. In Niagara Falls, there will be a few flurries with temperature of -8. London will see some soon sun and clouds with a temperature of -7. Right now, it is partially cloud in Windsor and temperature of -8. Looking into the next 24 hours in Hamilton, this evening we will experience some sun and cloud with a temperature of -6 degrees Celsius. Overnight, the temperature will drop to -9 tomorrow morning. The temperature will remain the same with more visible cloud and a temperature of -8. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, Thursday we'll see a mix of cloud and snow with a high of -2 and a low of -11. Friday, we will experience periods of snow with a high of -2 and a low of -2 as well. Saturday's forecast gets a little bit more favorable with mostly sunny skies with a high of -4 and a low of -12. On Sunday, there's a possibility of either snow or rain or a high of 4 and a low of -6. Temperatures will improve by Monday, but we have the possibility of rain with a high of 4 and a low of 1. And that's all for your weather. Let's check in with Anna for your entertainment update.
Thanks, Tazeen. How I Met Your Mother gave a shout out to Hamilton and Ivor Wynne in this week's episode. The episode touched on the fictional Canadian pop princess Robin Sparkles, who performed at the '96 Grey Cup at Ivor Wynne, which the show explained was just outside Guelph. The episode featured an array of Canadian celebs, including Dave Thomas, Geddy Lee, Stephen Page, and Luc Robitaille. Sony will reveal its new PlayStation on February 20th. The company is inviting gamers to see the future and the first glimpse of the PlayStation 4. GameSpot has confirmed that the meeting will be live streamed over the internet. Let's take a look at what's happening on campus.
Personal finance author and host of the TV show Till Debt Do Us Part, Gail Vaz Oxlade, will be here at Mohawk College to talk about her books and career in TV. So if you're seeking financial advice, come here to the McIntyre Performing Arts Center, February 19th at 7 p.m.
More than 9,000 full-time Mohawk students will complete their winter 2013 Key Performance Indicator Survey between February 4th and the 15th. Mohawk has earned high marks in the past 2 years, ranking #1 overall in student satisfaction. More than 25 restaurants will be competing for the best soup in the city at this year's Soup Fest at the Hamilton Convention Center. Proceeds from the event will go to stir up support for local at-risk youth. The Sexual Assault Center of Hamilton is hosting the 9th annual Chocolate Fest at the Hamilton Convention Center. The delectable event offers guests an opportunity to sample a variety of desserts. It also features live entertainment and a silent auction.
That's all for today's community calendar. I'm Kyler Sanderson. Now back to the studio.
Mumford & Sons has announced details for their 2013 music festival, Gentlemen of the Road Stopovers. The festival dates are in England, the US, and will be coming to Simcoe, Ontario, along with Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, the Vaccines, Vampire Weekend, and more to be announced. That's all for entertainment. Time to pass it over to Kyler with sports.
Scored his 5th and 6th goals of the season for the Maple Leafs Tuesday night. Corbinian Holzer scored his first career goal to give Toronto a 3-2 victory over the imploding Washington Capitals. Phil Kessel, who has yet to score this season, added 2 assists as the Leafs even their season record at 5-5. For the first time this season, the Ottawa Senators goalie Craig Anderson allowed more than 2 goals in a game, but it didn't matter as his teammates bailed him out and Ottawa held on for a 4-3 win over the Buffalo Sabres. The Sens captain Daniel Alfredson scored a goal and picked up the game's first star. Buffalo's Thomas Vanek leads the NHL in scoring with 19 points, but was held off the score sheet for the first time in 9 games. In the NBA, the Raptors hope to have big man Andrea Bargnani back tonight for the first time in nearly 2 months as the Toronto Raptors play host to the suddenly surging Boston Celtics. The Raptors could get a big boost from teaming Bargnani with recent acquisition Rudy Gay. Toronto has looked impressive since acquiring Gay from Memphis in a trade last week, but will face a tough task tonight. The Celtics have yet to lose a game since their all-star point guard Rajon Rondo went down with a season-ending injury on January 27th. That's it for me with sports. Let's pass it back to Neil and Rachel.
The public libraries in Hamilton hosted the Human Library event. Instead of books, readers could sign out a person to be told their unique life experiences. Catherine Kempt has more.
Many books, including refugee artist Jose Loney, who shared his artwork as well as his experiences. Shortly after his father's execution in El Salvador, Loney came to Canada where he became an alcoholic for 20 years.
But my alcoholism for 20 years took over my life and controlled it the way you want it. And my main goal right now is to kind of show other artists that it's possible to come out of it.
Loney says that even though he has no formal art training, painting is his form of therapy.
Yes, I was stuck, and maybe my hands were tied by alcoholism, but I'm out of it. Luckily, I'm out of it. It takes a lot of work, and it's a goal of inspiration.
While Jose Loney's disability was self-inflicted, Sandy Mungford has been dealing with her disability her entire life.
I was diagnosed at about age 10 with rheumatoid arthritis, and for most of us we think about it as pain or discomfort and some fatigue, but for me it's involved about 9 orthopedic surgeries. I've fractured almost all the major bones in my body.
Despite all these setbacks, Mugford continues to stay positive in life.
You have to get past that. You've got to put that aside, and then you've got to start building a life that you really want, as opposed to waiting for it to come being delivered by the FedEx guy.
The Human Library event was created to break down barriers between people and promote acceptance. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Catherine Kempt.
Germany's elusive Cookie Monster vigilante has returned the golden biscuit. biscuit manufacturer Balson had their golden cookie ornament stolen from on top of their headquarters last month. A man known only by Cookie Monster had stolen it and promised its safe return if the company donated cookies to a local children's hospital. Failure to do so would result in the ornament ending up in the dustbin with Oscar the Grouch. Balson donated 52,000 boxes of cookies to 52 organizations, including the hospital. The golden biscuit was found gift-wrapped and hanging from a horse statue outside a university.
And that's all your news for Wednesday, February 6th. For more news coverage, check out our website at ignitenews.ca. I'm Neil Reyes.
And I'm Rachel Williams. Thanks for watching, Mohawk.